Hey, Next Development League. This is actually part 2 of the same game that I was reviewing earlier. There's only about 6 minutes left, but I wanted to make sure I got a chance to go over talents, talk about the end game here, as well as any final things. So once again, this is week 2, match 2, or week 1, match 2, featuring Ulysses, Caden, TieDie, Sidepiece, Meamzed versus Imparty, ShyheartyDK, Kalkin, GalacticMonk, and Direpants. So far, if you missed part 1, too long didn't watch, Red Team had executed very well their macro-oriented strategy and had been pushing and doing well all over the map. And Blue Team failed to get to the objectives on time for the first couple, and then weren't using their ability to zone and fight at the shrine, but they managed to get a very good shrine fight on the top side, which enabled them to push really hard. Or sorry, they got kills, which enabled them to push really. Red overextended and didn't send Asmodan to push with them, and instead had Dahaka splitting, which enabled them to get 3 or 4 kills, and Blue responded by using their abilities with Sylvanas to push the tower. They pushed top tower, and now Blue has won their first objective after they got a pick bottom on Dahaka. So, sorry, no, they got a pick bottom on Blaze, and then Red Team tried to defend the objective just now and ended up losing to Haka despite being down a man 4v5. So let's jump back in. So as we're continuing to look here, obviously you guys are trying to defend, but one of the big things here is to make sure that we're okay giving this fort. Like, this fort is not the end of the world. So, oh my goodness, poor Stukov. Let's just back up real quick.
Yes! Capably done, team!
Okay, Stukov is getting chunked over here by Chromie. You don't need to be up here in party. Like, obviously, you see that now if you died, but, like, between the lasers and stuff, who on the red team should be tanking these jumps? Right? There's nobody on your team that has unstoppable frames. And, you know, Bunker or Blaze didn't take Unstop on 1. So the only person that can actually eat this with Unstoppable frames would be Tychus, but obviously Tychus is already in Odin, and we want him to Odin siege it down. So all of you guys should just really be behind the fort here. There's no reason to be anywhere near the range of the Muradin, and then the Chromie is incredible long range. Sylvanas has trait, so even being near the building is not safe just because of the trait. So we should let Asmodan and Tychus kind of hammer this down, and then you guys should be ready to support them if they get jumped. But just being a little bit too far forward here, and then John Cena unfortunately gets the final hit. So making sure that when we're grouping up here, that we know who's going to be jumping. The Punisher jumps every 15 seconds. So that's a good, yep, way to follow up on that, Ulysses. Great heal again. TieDie, oh my goodness, way to pass the heal, Ulysses. Good job. So that all started from just being too far forward and not respecting the Punisher. So once again, we have Sylvanas. Sylvanas should be pushing this. Oh. Okay, I don't agree with this, Caden. This is your one chance to come back in this game. You need to push hard. Use that trait. Help your team push. They're down 2 players. Siege, siege, siege. They need your siege. Oh, Muradin's going to live. Muradin's a little suicidal there. You didn't have vision of that tower you just walked into. See, look, now you're here, and Dahaka's up. There's not much of an advantage you get. Like, this camp, honestly, is not going to get you much. So just think about what can we do most right now. When you're ahead, you want to take whatever advantage you can get to push as hard as you can. That's a good look. You might be able to get the Dahaka. We missed the wallbang. Everything's on cooldown. Tower's now getting shut down. Blaze is still down for 5. I think it's going to be close. Yep, we get it. All right, go ahead and leave. Well done. So we still got it. Just, I think it became a lot more dangerous than if you would have just pushed with it the first time. Very clever Hogger bounce there. And we lost a little bit of core damage, but we finally opened up a win condition, so now we have a chance to win. So what we should be doing as Blue Team is trying to get things back to steady state so we can find the objective, because the objective is where our win condition resides. So Sylvanas doing this camp by herself is a little dangerous. We just all left here. You can assume that they're here on this camp just because of where the lanes are pushed and everything, and that's where you guys were. But it doesn't mean that Dahaka or someone couldn't come down here. And with the wave being pushed this far away, this could be a very dangerous camp. So once again, oh, see, they decided to do the other one. See, Dire was showing top. Okay, so you'll be able to get this camp for free, but that means you guys need to give top. Yep, just walk away from that. Oh, great Hogger bounce. Yep, walk away. They can have it. Don't fight them, right? That's one of the problems about this map and most games in general, is we overvalue how much like fighting at the camp is, unless it's part of your win condition where you want to fight them in the choke. Like, the camps can be cleared. Like, they're not the end of the world. You know, it's not a boss camp, and even a boss camp can be a throw. So, yep, just get things cleaned up, get to status quo, and the next objective is top. I don't know if you can see that now or if that's me cheating, but you want to make sure specifically your top lane is pushed out to where when the objective spawns, you at least have steady state here, since this is where you're weakest on the map with a keep down. So Dahaka's cutting the lane bottom. It looks like they're all showing bottom. Just clearing a lane at least. We looking for a fight? That's a very... wow. Ulysses, that was an amazing jump. I have no idea how you knew we were there. Like, I'm like tracking with you, and I would have guessed that they were... I would have at least gone to the bush first before I jumped. Oh, unfortunate. We missed. We missed. We back up. Yep, well done. Objective in 24. We can take our camp. Yep, good job scouting. So this is what you're supposed to be doing, is trying to find them. We just saw two of them walk past the time trap, so you need to be careful on this upward path. We didn't check any of these bushes on the way up. They could be sitting right here. They could be sitting right here. This is very dangerous. We still don't see them. Tygus just showed. Right? Like, this whole time we had no idea where anyone was. So this is kind of dangerous, but this is the team fight you want. Right? You guys are the objective comp. We're here on time. You know, if we can clear this wave out just a little bit more, that'd be perfect. Hogger's already on it. Hogger also needs to get rage up, which he's doing now. Did Direpants just dig in? Yeah, he did. He just dug in, so wherever he was probably split pushing bottom. That's why the minions are all where they are. So Direpants just dug in. Look at where we are. We're very split, guys. So just making sure that we take the fight that we want. Mind control lands here. I'm going to slow this down, actually, because I think this is going to be the critical team fight. This is you guys almost got the CC chain perfect on top of Dahaka here. You just need to make sure that we communicate who's stunning what. Because, like, Muradin was full out and was using the stun this way when you guys were going this way. So just try and communicate what we're picking and looking for. That should have been a dead Dahaka. Good flaps, good heals from Stukov. Dahaka's back at full health now. He burned all of his essence, though. So once again, you guys need to choose here. Are we fighting or are we camping? Sorry, are we fighting or are we the objective? Because look where Rhaegar is. Rhaegar's at the objective. You guys are fighting. Like, work together. Like, this is too far split. Okay, so we're regrouping. That's a great Stukov silence. I don't know if the... Does that hit? Oh, it does hit. Oh, it's an AoE too. It hits 2. This is super dangerous here. Look where Muradin is. Right? This just shows how split we are. That, because he hit you here... Oh my gosh, even the Rhaegar got the splash AoE. Hold on. Let's back that up. How did Rhaegar get hit? I call hacks. We actually overlapped our stun here, Meamzed. I know you didn't mean to, but like he was still under mind control when you threw out your stun. And then he just barely panicked eat and got it off before your wallbang was able to finish the kill. Okay. So right here, we get split by the Odin. Ulysses is down here fighting, and everyone else is running top. Then this clump here, look at this Dahaka. Look at this AoE. That is nowhere near. Look at it. This is nowhere near the Rhaegar, and Rhaegar gets silenced. Did I read this talent wrong? Does it bounce on purpose? Like, it literally jumped to another target. I don't think I've ever seen that before. Like, I understand the splash, but, like, it's almost like it gets its full ISO range again next to the next target. Dang, that was a good ISO. Okay, pretty much Sidepiece and Caden are dead. That's a great timeout. Good Ancestral. Oh my gosh, do we turn this? You might be able to kill GalacticMonk. That's too far. We can't chase. Okay. So in my opinion, just too split. right? Like, you guys actually had probably the better fight in the chokes, especially with the chromie sands and everything. You put down a chromie sand where you don't want them to walk through, and then you guys fight on the side you want. So you could have chromie sanded like here, had chromie and friends like turtling and shooting from here, had Muradin here, and then had Hogger here, or Hogger doing the infinite bounce here, to be able to fight on the shrine, instead of like being separated by the terrain here. That was really painful. So sadly, that might be game. You guys could get really cheeky here. So they're going to win the objective. As crazy as this sounds, you guys should go core. So like Ulysses, TieDie, and Sidepiece, you guys should immediately run core. Try and help this. There's 3 catapults, minions, everything. Just run straight core. See if you can get him. If you can't get him, at least force them to do something. Ulysses is looking at it. Maybe he's looking at it? Nope, he's looking for a camp. So the idea of, like, by running core here is that hopefully you could get them to stall so they don't push with the immortal or with the objective, and then you can hopefully get like a split defense. Because like doing this camp doesn't do anything, but like if the 3 of you guys were here, you might have been able to kill Direpants or put pressure on the core and force them to make a decision. I don't think you can out base race them, but it at least would potentially cause them to make a mistake, and then you could TP back and try and defend. So, because now you're like in a doomsday situation here, because Dahaka can dig in. Yeah, this is going to be a tough one. I think they said make sure you're in range to take the jump, which you are. Good stun. Flaps out. Just trying what you can. You're trying to peel the damage from the Immortal. That's unfortunate. Yeah, Immortal's pretty much just going to win by itself. And that's dead. Alright. GG. Okay. So let's look at talents and things real quick. So, overall, I said I think the strength of your guys' composition blue was fighting on the objectives. We just didn't play for them. We were just too split in what we were trying to do between fighting or objective. We just need to be more consistent and more together. I understand that this is probably, like I said, a bunch of pickup teams. It's not a full group of 5. But just whoever's making the calls or making shot calls, try and make sure that we're following up on our tank, or following up on our Sylvanas, or following up on our Sands. Like, when you guys all hit your stuff, you got kills. You did good. But we just had too many moments of being split. You had a good comeback opportunity there, right? We got to 20, 23, 23s, evened up the game. You know, it's like almost put some core damage. We got core damage on them. So it was anyone's game. And it ended up coming down to that last team fight top. And like I said, I think we were just too split. We had Muradin and friends, you know, running off to the right here. And we had, you know, Chromie, Sylvanas getting hit by the ISO, which then bounced to Rhaegar here. So it was a 3-man bounced ISO with Blaze hitting Combustion on top of them. So, unfortunate. So, GG's red team. I think you guys executed most of your win condition well. The main tank Blaze managed to work out. I said usually main tank Blaze has a hard time getting to Chromie. But with the way that we kind of clumped and did stuff, we didn't ever zone, so Chromie wasn't able to zone to do that. And then Asmodan being able to put some damage and split push. So let's quickly look at the stats real quick. So, yeah, poor Sylvanas just did not have a fun game. They were just diving her all day. If you look at, obviously, hero damage, siege damage, Chromie still pelted them, right? And then hero damage over here is Tychus. Tychus got tons of D trait value on top of Muradin. But, yeah, if you look at how, like, they won this game, you know what I mean? Like, it said, like, most of this game came down to, like, your guys' catch-up. The fact that you guys soak so much XP at the end is nuts. I don't like that Muradin is top XP soaked. I know that Muradin can soak things, but there was one of those things in the first half of the VOD they were talking about that Muradin should be as the tank looking for vision, trying to control bushes and do things, rather than running around catching soak. It's okay. Sorry. Catching soak's okay. Wave clearing is not okay. Right? Like, if you, like, come up to the bush here and soak, that's fine. But, like, standing in vision, clearing the lane at the wall, while your team is not doing something constructive, is not valuable. Like, have someone do that while you're defending a camp invade, or have someone do that while you're, like, protecting them while they're doing that. Just, you need to be getting vision and finding things that are more useful. So, what else? Okay, yeah, so I said, because if you look, like, you guys got more mercs, and you had more minion XP, right? So, like, you guys out-soaked them despite them having a global. Right? Like I said, just came down to the team fights, and you know, it's like, did you technically outkill them too, or you just got more XP from your kills? It was actually pretty even in kills. Yeah, let's say the minion XP looked pretty close. Okay, let's look at some talents real quick. So start with blue team. I talked about in the early game I didn't like Dwarf Block here, just because Dwarf Block doesn't work into Odin or into Tychus. Tychus just instantly destroys your armor for free. So I probably would have taken third win here, especially with how much in and out you were doing. You would have survived or gotten healthier even faster. Sledgehammer? You didn't take the attack speed slow? With how much you were on top of Tychus, this attack speed slow would have been huge. This actually is the talent that helps live. This talent does not. I would have definitely taken the attack speed slow. I don't know. I don't think you need Sledgehammer here. Like, it's not like it's Battlefield of Eternity where you can use this to help siege. You have a Sylvanas, you have a Rhaegar. You don't need to be sieging or camping. So I think this is potentially a mistake. I would have rather seen Reverb, where you get the attack speed slow, and then on top of that, you get your Avatar or your Haymaker up faster. So definitely this would have been really good into Tychus. Yeah. 7, Skullcracker makes sense. Like, on it, like, since the Blaze didn't go the typical tank Blaze things, so it was even better. Like, you could have seen at 4 that he didn't take the oil, so you can get more auto attacks off. But outside of Blaze, like, they don't have a lot of stuns, so to stop you from auto attacking, so you get probably lots of auto attack stuns with this. Avatar's good, like I said. Obviously the problem is Tychus. Tychus just shreds no matter if you have more health or less health, so Avatar at times can be a detriment because you just have more health for Tychus to take off. Yep, Bronzebeard, yep. Especially with how deep you were going. And then range. You could have possibly also taken Imposing Presence, just because Tychus is the only thing that scares you on their team. And so if you'd have taken this, then Tychus's attack speed goes down already. So any hero that hits you has their attack speed lowered by 20%. So you have a 20% slow if they just hit you, and then you have a 30. You have a 50% slow when you hit them with your other one. So that would have been neat. I think that would have been cool to look at that combo of things. And then 20 rewind's good. It made you get a couple of cool plays. I don't mind Dwarf Range. Like, you guys used it well. It's just something you think about when you're fighting into a Tychus or someone whose main goal to kill you is through AAs. Don't be afraid to take that. Alright, next up. Hogger. Rage, yep. Seeing Red. Is that the one you're supposed to take on that talent? If you're going Shockwave, yes, that makes sense. Okay, if you go Hortipult, you should take Garbage Fire. This is a free tip. Shockwave's fine. Pummel's right. Headbanger's right. And then no control. I don't remember seeing you push this button. While I look at everyone's talents, let's see if we can see you push the button. So we'll look at everyone else's talents. Chromie went W build here. Wait. W, then switch to Qs. Okay, no, that's fine. I'm mistaken. Okay, that team fight you didn't own control. You guys hit 20 when a little bit further back. Cool. Alright. Let's see if you ever use no control. That's what I'm looking for. So Totem, heal, Totem. Yep, that's fine. Great Ancestrals, by the way. You did a good job, Teddy. Okay, we used no control once. There it is. How did you do? Did you use it correctly? Okay, we set up our infinite bounce. Well done. Oh, no, we messed up our bounce. That's okay. Wow. Okay. Your port no control did not get value. Like, the fact that it bounced from that hero and didn't bounce to the other hero. Like, this is a weird pathic thing. I thought for sure you would have bounced to the other hero. We'll change to everyone vision so everyone can see what I'm talking about. So when you no controlled right here, I am surprised. It may have been a vision thing. Because, like, I thought for sure you would have bounced here. But instead you bounced to you bounced here. And then it drove you all the way around to get to Asmodan. Like, that's probably just RNG unlucky. Because, like, this is definitely the closer target. But it bounces you all the way around. So, that's unfortunate. So, yes, that was actually probably a kill type of no control. If you would have bounced just between those two heroes, you definitely would have gotten the Stuka off. One of the things to remember about no control is super dependent on your rage. So if you were to look at how it works, right? You bounce from enemy time to time. It's an untalented Hog Wild, right? And so your Hog Wild does damage, right? Deal 96 damage to your heroes. Damage against heroes increased by 0.5% by 0.5% for each point of rage, right? So 0.5%. If you are not at 100 rage, or sorry, we'll just say the rage you're currently at. You're at 20 rage, right? So 0.5% times 20 is what? A 10% increase of damage. So if you would have actually made sure you had full rage before you use no control, right? That's only 10%. So if you have full rage when you use no control, it's a 50% increase of damage. Like that, you can't mess that up. So make sure that you're balancing your rage before you use no control, or it really doesn't do any damage. So, okay, so that's the one time this game you use no control. You didn't use it any other times this game from what I was looking at. So we'll just look at other talents while we're doing that. I'm pretty sure no control isn't used again. Yeah, okay. Yep, okay, no control doesn't get used again, no problem. Okay, let's looking at Sylvanas. Sylvanas, how'd you do? Okay, Q build, that's fine. I personally would have liked to have seen Overwhelming Affliction this game, just because they have 3 fat bodies and percent health would be great into Blaze and Tychus and Dahaka. But this is fine. Yep, that's fine. Does anyone on your team have Armor Rip? I don't think anyone took Armor Rip talents. Okay, so usually what you want, you did take Armor Rip. So you took Cold Embrace here. So I would have taken Lost Soul here, because you get the cooldown reduction, right? And so one of the key things about Sylvanas is that you can't push any of your buttons unless you have... You shouldn't push any of your spells unless the person you're attacking has 3 stacks of Banshee's Curse, because you do 25% more damage when they have that. So as much as the bonus shot here does bonus damage, right? If you look at how much damage that is, so it says that each shot does 92 damage, right? So having the last shot doing 350% bonus damage is what? 92 times 3.5, 322, right? So you do 322 damage if you hitting the same enemy with 5 shots of Withering Fire. That's a lot to ask for at times. It can be done, but like that means you have to have none of your Qs on cooldown, and you have to be perfectly standing and spaced between one hero to be able to get it done. I'm not saying it's impossible, but I will say that it is probably more difficult to get value out of that talent than if you would have taken Lost Soul or Festering Wounds. So, just be aware of how conditional that is. It is a good talent. I don't have a problem with it. Just it's difficult. It's just difficult to get value out of it all the time. So you have to play differently with that. Mind control's good. I like that you took the armor rip. No one else in your team has armor rip. Evasive fire. I'm not sure how much movement speed you needed. Maybe you needed it. I think Will the Forsaken would have been huge for you, but I think this is good too. You can use this to get out of to dodge the tongues and to get out of the blaze stuff faster, maybe. And then yeah, if you take mind control, take the upgrade mind control. So yeah, just a little reminder that your Sylvanas damage does bonus damage, and then from game one, just make sure to use your D timely. Like, if you're going to solo clear stuff, make sure you're using your D on time, because the only time you really need to have your D is after a team fight or when the objective's up. So that way you can push hard with the objective. So don't be trigger shy to use your D. So, alright, red team. Talked a lot about blue team this game. Alright, so red team, we'll look at Stukov. So, same thing, E-build, good strain. Yeah, you don't need physical armor here, so that's probably right. Yep. And then when someone's stunned or rooted, that can be pretty good. They have quite a few stuns. That stun probably, the super strain stun probably saved a Haka top when you guys are fighting. And then top off's okay. I kind of like the flailing swipe upgrade. You can technically get like 4 swipes if you use the flailing swipe upgrade, but that's a plaything. I think this was fine. You didn't need to have huge amounts of disengage. If they had garbage fire or something, maybe you would need it, but your 1 flap 10 to save the day. Asmodan, I'm not an Asmodan expert, but you went, which one? Is this the Heroes one? Heroes? Okay. Oh, you didn't finish your stacks. Oh, you did, after getting 200. I don't know. I don't know Asmodan very well. But you went E-build for the majority, which is the correct way to play him, though. That I do know. So, okay. Tychus, I actually like that you decided to go grenade build here. It helps with your wave clear. It helps with your poke. It helps you reach Chromie. I love the spell damage here into Chromie. Well done. I love Master Assassin. Well played. There's no reason to take Bigger They Are here or into the rhythm. So, I think Master Assassin's great. Yep. Big red button for your Odin upgrade and grenade build. Yep. Well done. Easy. Okay, so Tank Blaze. This one, I'll say maybe a controversial take, but in my opinion, if you're going to play Tank Blaze, you need to look at, do they have enough CC that I need unstoppable? If you're going to take combustion, this needs to be unstoppable, because more people will punish you for trying to use your combustion, and so the worst thing in the world would be to land a stun. Then you push R to get your combustion ready, and as soon as you start sitting there channeling your combustion, you get instantly knocked back. And so your combustion doesn't go off or doesn't get full damage. If you have the Unstoppable talent here on one, you can Unstoppable in with your E and then push R, or you can E and then R with your Unstoppable active, and that way they cannot interrupt you or stop you from getting a full channel of damage on the right person. So I would have changed this talent. And then your reducing damage talent, I'm trying to remember how much range that is. It's like deceptively low range, if I remember. So it's reduces their damage dealt by 8% up to 40. So if they stand next to you for the full duration, they will have their damage reduced by 40%. Whose damage are you reducing? Right, being melee, you're reducing damage on maybe Hogger or Muradin. You're not stopping the damage of the heroes that are actually doing damage, which is the Chromie and the Sylvanas. So I don't know if I like this talent on this one. I would have probably gone, oops, wrong way. I would have gone either oil or, and so I would have gone oil because you're main tank. If you're playing main tank Blaze, you probably need the oil. The fact that the area is huge and all that stuff, it gives you more zoning, it gives you more opportunities to get stuns. And then 7, they have plenty of spell power. Suppressive power could have been good. reducing spell power of Chromie and Sylvanas, especially since you went spell power build. I would have gone Suppressive Fire. This isn't bad. It's good for zoning, but like, yeah, it's a little weird sometimes when you want to like actually slow somebody, and then you end up like dropping a bunch of oil behind you, and you light the oil on fire of the one you didn't mean to. So it can work. I think the spell power reduction would have been good into both of them going spell power damage. Once again, combustion. If you're going to quick combustion, take the level 1 talent. It's really hard to say no to bunker. It's like your get out of jail free card as a tank or offlane. I love that you took this. This one here, I am not 100% sure. Someone took this game in the last game too, and I think, or the last game I reviewed from NDL. And the short of it is, this talent can be good if you're standing on top of a huge pile or a huge wave of minions, because it can heal you for a lot. But in this particular composition, you'll be standing, when you use this, on 1 or 2 heroes. And so you heal for 75% of the damage dealt, and your Pyromania does 91 damage for 4 seconds. Oh, every 0.5 seconds. So we'll say 200. So you can heal up to 800 health if you're standing on exactly 1 person for the entire 4 seconds. No, sorry, 75%. So less than that. So it'd be 800 times 0.75. So you heal for 600 if you're standing on 1 person. If you're standing on 2 people, you can get 1200. A level 16 talent to heal for 1200 is kind of not worth it. But if you were to stand like in the middle of a creep wave, it works against creeps. It works against minions. That's when it would be huge, because you're getting healed for every instance of damage. So you can have a mini Ancestral if you're willing to play around the fact that you have to hit multiple heroes and multiple items. And with this particular composition, I don't know if you get enough value out of it. Spell Armor, on the other hand, you just get 50% spell armor. So when Chromie or Sylvanas or anyone tries to unwail on you, it's an extra button to push, so it does have the button tax. So if you don't feel comfortable pushing the button, I understand. But like, spell armor here into 3 spell armor heroes sounds great. And then this one is probably the generic go-to when you're not sure what to do, just because you get armor every time you use E, and you get up to, 30, 40, 50 armor if you somehow get a 5-man stun, and it reduces the cooldown for every E, so you get more E's off. And then Burn Onus, no. Never, ever, never. This is literally, unless you are ending with core, and you need the extra, 41 damage, this is the worst level 20 talent in the game. It's actually very, very bad. If you take Combustion, take the upgrade, please. You're not slowed. That's the biggest problem with Combustion, is that you're slowing yourself. You self-root for 40% to be able to do your ability. Now you can run at them at full speed. If you're going to take Combustion, take Flash Fire. Alright, and Haka. Spell Armor, good tech, I like it. Hero Takedowns. You were predominantly double soaking? I guess it's okay. As long as you were getting it done, or double soaking. Cooldown against heroes. Yeah, if you're brawling, you're brawling. So more uptime on your spell armor. I like it. ISO. Your ISO probably won the game. That was an amazing ISO up here. So well played to Haka. You had a 3-man ISO that separated them into the Blaze Combustion and then got the Rhaegar killed. Or not the Rhaegar killed, got the 2 killed down here. So you definitely made plays with it. It was good. You probably don't need adaptation. If you would have taken adaptation here, you may never die. Just because they don't have, consistent damage. But increases attack damage. So this one I actually am not sure. You kept burning your essence kind of early when you were in danger, or when you thought you were in danger. And so this only works when you have more essence. Like the 2 times that I watched your essence specifically, you ended up popping it right away. You probably... Does anyone on your team have an armor rip? I don't think anyone on your team took armor rip this game. Just quickly check. Yeah. So no one on your team has armor rip. So something you might consider or talk about is asking, do I need this? Because if you... It's not a ton, right? But 10% more damage, and you pretty much are always going to have your E up because you took the E talent here. and you're going to be able to live in the back line because they can't do spell damage to you, and so you might be able to get a lot of value out of the armor reduction here. And then, yep, that's fine. Tunneling Claws is definitely a get-out-of-jail-free card, and then upgraded ISO was great. So, okay, cool. Sorry that went into 2 parts, guys. That was a long stuff going through, but hopefully you guys learned and you're able to do something new. So this is Rock. If you have any questions, feel free to DM me, message me on the CCS Discord. And thanks again for the replay, guys, and continue to keep learning and doing great things. Catch you in the next one.